is something I've literally been waiting 10 years for. And that is to say that this channel is officially 10 years old as of today, December 15th. So my very first video that I put on this channel was on December 15th, 2008. And I actually just crossed the 10-year anniversary of the entire Eco-Vegan Gal brand a few months ago at the end of October. I forget exactly what date it was, but I celebrated the 10 years of the website. So 10 years ago in October 2008, I wrote my very first blog post, and I just thought this was all going to be a hobby, but it's turned into a 10-year-long career, which is really crazy. I thought about doing a video in October about this, but I'm actually really glad that I waited to today because today's the official YouTube anniversary. And it's really fascinating. It feels very surreal. I wanted to make this video to thank you. I wanted to make this video to share with you a little bit of summary and highlights of the 10-year journey. And I also thought this was so important because I am incredibly passionate about encouraging other people to follow their dreams and to live the life that they really want. And a lot of that has to do with the work that we do. So this video is also going to go into depth about my journey, figuring out my career with all of this, and what I plan to do for the next 10 plus years. So thank you so much. I'm recording this live, so I'll be responding to live comments. I'm so grateful. Really with this channel lately, YouTube has changed a lot in 10 years, a lot. And it's gone through so many different phases. Lately, the views have been harder for me to receive for this channel, but to be honest, I've been so focused on the organic elements of being a content creator. And as a content creator, I consider YouTube, places like Instagram, Facebook, all of those other platforms. And there's so many strategies that we can implement to try to get more people to watch our videos. But I do some of those strategies, and some of them work, some of them are more effective than others. But honestly, a lot of the times I just want to put out videos for whoever's going to come across them and for the people that really want to watch them and be part of my life. So if you're watching this video, there's a very good chance that you're here because you've been subscribed for a while and you care about me and you want to see my video specifically. You're not just stumbling upon this. If you are stumbling upon this, welcome. But I have a feeling most of you watching this are really part of the Eco-Vegan Gal community, and you have been for years. So really, let me start off by saying how much you mean to me. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers say that. A lot of us mean it, really, because we wouldn't be doing this work for the most part if it weren't for loyal people like you. And it is like having family, really, because you are here for almost every video, or some of you may watch every single video that I make, and that's incredible. Some of you come to every live video that I put up, and that blows my mind. Some of you comment regularly, and I know your name. Some of you I've met before or send me emails. I mean, the incredible things that I've experienced through some of you has really touched my heart in ways you may not even know. And I struggle to express that, really. I've had a lot of challenges when it comes to responding to things because I think I get very caught up in how to say things because I want to say it just right. And luckily this year, one milestone for me that happened in this 10th year of work for me is it technically my 9th year of work? I don't know. 9th, 10th, whatever. I hired a part-time assistant named Melissa, and she has helped me tremendously with things like responding to people. So with her help, I am now responding to most comments and emails, and I hope that you feel recognized now, and we're trying to just get through everything. So much has amassed over the past 10 years. So there's a lot to sort through. I actually went through all of my emails in my inbox and organize them into a folder, and my goal is to respond to like every email I've never responded to before. So I don't know if that'll happen, but with Melissa's help, I'll get that done. So 10 years. Well, first I wanted to show you this. I wanted to screen share for a second the channel. It's actually hard on YouTube, at least from my perspective, to to sort videos by the oldest video. You can sort on YouTube like the newest videos on your channel, and it increasingly gets the older ones. But I don't think there's a way to show the oldest video, so I had to like click this button like over and over and over again to get to the very beginning of my channel, which is 10 years ago. And I wanted to show it to you if you haven't seen it. So this is me. I typed in a search. So this is actually just like the search results for Eco Gift Festival. And this was my very first video on this channel. And if you had asked me, I don't think I would have known off the top of my head this was my first one. But here it is, 10 years ago, which is so nuts. I mean, doing something for 10 years is really kind of crazy. And it feels like that 10 years went by so fast. What's also interesting about that video, which I can link in the description if you want to see, or you can just search on my channel for Eco Gift Festival. It's 50 seconds long. And I'll tell you a little story about this and how that video came to be. So I started the Eco Vegan Gal as a blog just because blogging was like the thing to do 10 years ago. We didn't have Instagram. Facebook was mainly for personal usage. And Twitter was really just starting to like get some traction. I didn't get on Twitter until 2009. 2009 was like the start of my social media side. But in 2008, when I started Eco Vegan Gal, it was a blog and it was this first video. Now, I had already dabbled in YouTube a little bit for maybe a year or so because my background is filmmaking. If you didn't know this about me, I grew up thinking that I wanted to be a filmmaker. There were points where I wanted to be an actress. I went to film school. I was, throughout my teens, obsessed with filmmaking. I've been making videos for a really big chunk of my life. Many years ago, before the iPhone was around and all this other technology, I was investing all this money I was saving up by going babysitting and buying equipment so that I could make videos. And I basically was vlogging at a very young age because I had a video camera, which, back then, before things like the iPhone, which came out, iPhone was 2005, I think, is that right? Or 2000? Yeah, I think iPhone was 2005. Also, fun fact is that I worked for Apple for 6.5 years, and I was there when they released the first iPhone, which was like also mind-blowing. So a lot of milestones that I've witnessed in this technological history. So I've been a big tech geek for a long time. If you saw my most recent video on this channel, I talked about my car, which is the Tesla, and I got that car because it's the perfect car for me. It's eco-friendly and it's very techy, and I've always loved technology. So I was this kid that had a video camera when very few people did or used it in the way that I did. And if YouTube had been around when I was that young, I definitely would have been a vlogger, like very young. And now it's so different because you kids like at 4 or 5 years old will have iPhones or iPads or access to computers, right? And computers were also not as prevalent as they are now today. And it sounds like I'm an old lady talking about this, but it's true. A lot has changed in just 10 years, let alone 15, 20, whatever. So anyways, using cameras and technology has been just a huge part of my life. And I loved being on camera since I was a little girl. I thought that I wanted to be an actress because there was no career path as a YouTuber. YouTube didn't exist. And so the only way of really being on camera was to act, right? But acting was never like as deep of a passion as I might have thought it was. Either that or I got very discouraged because, again, when I was a little girl, I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts, and acting and living in Los Angeles, where I live now, is also kind of crazy. So this is like a big story of like, you never know where life's going to lead you, because I grew up just dreaming of living in Hollywood, which is, I literally live in Hollywood. That's the part of Los Angeles I live in now. The Hollywood sign is within, I can't see it from where I live, but if I walk just like one street over, I can see the Hollywood sign. Mind blown, right? As a little kid, like, that was like the biggest dream. So anyways, my interest in being on camera led me to getting a camcorder and making videos when I was really young. And then people started to say, well, why don't you study this? Why don't you have you don't have to just like go be an actress. You could actually study filmmaking. So I went to film school in Boston at Emerson College, and that I grew up in Massachusetts, so Boston was a no-brainer. I really wanted to come to Los Angeles or New York. Actually, NYU was my top choice. I didn't get in. I also didn't get into UCLA or USC, but I got into Emerson, which ended up being the perfect school for me. And as quickly as I could, I came out to Los Angeles. I came here in 2004, right? Yeah, 2004. And I graduated early. Like I was just like so focused on moving out here and starting my career as soon as possible. And I've been in LA now for 14 years, which is also kind of nuts. And I thought for those first few years of living here that I was going to just be a filmmaker. So I worked in the film industry. I had really wonderful jobs, lots of great experiences. I was on my path to being a filmmaker. And then I started to meet bloggers. I had a few friends in film school, actually one in particular, who had a blog for years. And it was just like something she did for fun. But I never saw it as a career path. And then I just, on a whim in October 2008, decided to start a blog for fun. And then because I had been studying film and I was still working in the film industry in 2008, I thought, you know what? I have a video camera. I should start taking videos. So in December 2008, I heard about this event in Los Angeles called the Eco Gift Festival, and I really wanted to go. So I think I emailed them and asked if I could go for free because I was going to make a video about it. And this is actually also a milestone for me because this was my first time as press, right? So up till even today, I do this, right? Like you can go to a lot of events for free. You can, you see me reviewing products and stuff in my videos. A lot of times companies are sending me products for free in exchange for reviewing them on YouTube, on my website, in social media and all that. That's a great perk of being a content creator. You're actually considered media and press and all that. So December 15th, or in December 2008, I don't know exactly what date the festival was, but it was around then. I went to this event for free and I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to go to this for free because I have a blog. This is awesome. And I was like taking the video so seriously. And so if you go to this video, my very first video on the Eco Vegan Gal YouTube channel, you will see that I made this 50-second teaser. So because I took filmmaking so seriously, I wanted this video to be perfect. And I thought, well, I really want to put something up, but I haven't finished the video yet. So I made like a little trailer for it. And that's what that first video is. You can look it up again. It's the here, I'll show you the screen again, the Eco Gift Festival. And I haven't watched it in a really long time. But yeah, it was like me, capturing little moments from this really cool event. And actually it'd be funny to watch this because there's probably people in here that I know now, but didn't know then. And it's also fascinating because a lot of these companies don't even exist anymore. What was interesting about there's Ariana Huffington. What was really interesting about doing things like this in 2008 is that very few people were doing this. YouTube was just extraordinarily different back then. I mean, YouTube had only been around for 3 years, and I don't know if Google had bought it yet. It was really just a platform where you could distribute your content easily. So I meant to say earlier, because I was studying filmmaking and then working in the film industry, I was just looking for a place to distribute my content, to put it up so that I could connect it to my blog. I think that was my mentality. I really wish I remembered more about what it was like to be on YouTube back then, because all I remember very strongly is that I had zero expectations for YouTube. And then 10 years later, YouTube has been a massive part of my career, right? For the first few years of being on YouTube, I was one of very few vegan YouTubers. And up until maybe 2000, let's see when that was. I would say 2014, 15, I was top 10 vegan YouTubers in terms of subscribers. And that's also crazy. In the past, 3-4 years, YouTube just exploded, right? My subscriber numbers have not changed that drastically, but even when I was like at 20,000 subscribers, I think I was still like one of the top vegan YouTubers because there just weren't that many of us. And I have like all this documented because I was really fascinated by all the other creators out there. And so most of us knew of each other's channels. We sometimes would know each other personally. And it was just a very small community. And then something shifted. I think there was an influx of younger YouTubers who were vegan and talking about it that really started to build up the movement in a different way. So that's fascinating. Now I feel like my channel is, I don't want to be harsh and say like irrelevant because I don't think that's a nice thing to say about my work, but it's definitely not as relevant as it was 4 or 5 years ago when there was very few of us. And some of you that have been following my channel for a long time found me very easily because if you typed in vegan on YouTube, you'd come across me within the first page or two of search results. Now I'm not so sure about that. And again, like having 20 or 30,000 subscribers was like a big deal back then. Now, if you have under 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's like, very different because so many people now are reaching millions of subscribers. You look at some of the top YouTubers and they're like 75 plus million subscribers, which is nuts. And then you see like people getting millions of views very easily. So that's changed a lot. And to go back to the beginning of it, I started my blog for fun and I started the YouTube channel for fun. And then I don't think I posted much between the Eco Gift Festival video and the others, which it's really hard to look this up on YouTube for some reason. But off the top of my head, I think I had a video about my pet turkey, which I would have thought I posted around Thanksgiving. Maybe I did Thanksgiving 2009. But I also did my first restaurant review, and that one's actually kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to pull it up anyways because it's just so funny how I, didn't really, let's see, let me just type this in the search and I'll show you this. This is it. Okay, it was 9 years ago. It was in 2009, but I think it was in like February or March 2009. I mean, it's kind of nuts there for a number of reasons. First of all, I got to update the descriptions here. Because back then, you could upload your video as HD and you had to click a button. It was called HQ, not HD, but you had to click it in order to see the higher quality version of the video. Otherwise, it would show it to you in this horrible resolution. So I had to put that in all my description fields for a while. And then like my descriptions are so weird. I still have my old Blogspot URL in here. Maybe one day I'll go through and do all this. Yes, so this is March 2009. I think there was a pretty substantial gap between the very first video in December 2008 and this one. There might have been a couple things in between, but again, I was just doing this for fun and figuring everything out. I mean, this is so old school. Like I thought those title graphics were so cool. I think I spent a ton of time working on this. And then I had my little sister, she was with me, Mary. She helped me film this. So I brought along my camera and oh my gosh, this is like so awkward. It's even more awkward when there's audio, but like look at my sense of style back then and my face looked different because this is before I realized I had a big sensitivity to gluten. And so I was definitely heavier and I was so uncomfortable on camera, even though I had a lot of experience being on camera from various things over the years. This was all new to me. There's my sister. And so this is my very first restaurant review. And we just went to this vegan restaurant that I was so excited about. This is my first time going there. And we just documented our experiences, but I was trying to do it in like a very serious way. Like I was trying to make it like it was a TV show because that was that was kind of like what YouTube was like back then in 2009. I think a lot of us were trying to make our videos very professional. So I would meet a lot of people that were doing like restaurant reviews. That was like I feel like the goal for a lot of people was to put content up on YouTube so that maybe they would get hired to host their own television show or whatever. So YouTube back then in 2009 was very educational. It was very much like, hey, let's learn about this, or let me give you a tour of this. You know, I knew friends that were specializing in travel videos, or what else? Who else was doing content? Like showing recipes were a big thing back then too. I did a lot of recipes in 2011 and 12, but that's never really been my passion. For me, I was really interested in restaurants. So at the very beginning of the Eco Vegan Gal channel, I was just going around reviewing vegan restaurants because I love to do that. And I eventually got very burnt out by that. Even now I'm like, well, it's fun to like post a few seconds about a restaurant on Instagram stories or something. But yeah, for what I used to do, it would take me hours and hours and hours to make these videos. And I was also using software that very few people were using. So because I grew up studying film production and got really into technology and worked for Apple, I worked for Apple in 2008 and 2009. I was using Final Cut Pro, which is like a more advanced video editing platform. And now Final Cut Pro is really inexpensive, accessible, and a lot of people know how to use it. But back in 2008 and 2009, very few people were using that software. So I was trying to do all these advanced things, and it would take me so much time to get them done. And now I can do that all really fast, and it looks completely different because the sense of design has changed so much over the years. So that's really interesting too. And by the way, I just mentioned stories. I've been posting on Instagram stories a lot over the years, but now, as of in the past week, I think, YouTube now has stories. So if you didn't see them yet, I now post stories on this channel, and I'm actually focused on those because I really want to test it out. So I paused most of my Instagram stories, and I'm putting almost all my content on YouTube stories. So you can keep an eye out for it. They should show up only on your phone. You have to look on the mobile version of YouTube. So if you're watching on there, you'll be able to see the stories pop up. They're like little faces. You'll see the Eco Vegan Gal logo on there, and you can click on it and watch a story, and they stay there for 7 days, which is really nice. So if you look now, you'll see, I think, all of the stories that I've done. I think maybe my first story was about a week ago. So you'll get to check that out. And I love your feedback. You can comment on stories. You can ask questions. It's really neat. I've been a big fan of stories for a while because they're just a quick way to put out content, and that's something that I did for so long with this channel, is a lot of editing. And having done this for 10 years, and let's see how many videos I've made. Forget where I can see this, but somewhere, I'm just going to screen share while I'm trying to find this. Maybe in the About section, does it say? The About section is really interesting. So look, joined December 15th, 2008. So literally 10 years ago today is when this channel started. I actually did not know that. So I created the channel and uploaded my very first video 10 years ago. And you can see, over 4.5 million views. I don't know where that stands today compared to a lot of other people, but that's also pretty amazing. And let's see, if I click on videos, I don't know if it says easily. Somewhere in here, I can see it. I might have to go behind the scenes for a second. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, I have to switch accounts on here. Give me one moment while I take a peek, because I think it's like close to 800 videos that I've done, which is... it's interesting because that feels like a lot, but not at the same time. So that means I was doing approximately 80 videos a year, which, yeah, that doesn't really feel like that much, does it? It's funny because some people who are vlogging are doing, 300 plus videos a year, or at least 50, like one video a week a year. I guess 80 is a substantial amount because some YouTubers are uploading once a week. I think right these days, again, things have changed a lot. Like once a week used to be a really good number, but now I feel like 3 times a week is a good number for a lot of channels because people have very short attention spans and they can forget about you, or, their lack of interest and all of that. So yeah, there's a lot to kind of sort through here. Okay. I didn't even see all these comments coming through, so let me also take a moment to acknowledge the comments. And is there any indication of how many videos? Oh, here it is. I've made 869 videos, so I guess closer to 86 or 87 videos a year. So I just wanted to say hi to some people that are here or were here at one point. I know people come and go during live videos, but thank you to Ty for watching, and Yadi, who has been a very loyal person within the Eco Vegan Gal community. Jafar, who's been tuning in a lot recently. Hello, and Liz, Jason, and Ty. It's so sweet. You've been leaving a lot of comments, so thank you for all of that. And Ardfay said, I remember the time when there were so few vegan YouTubers. I went vegan 11 years ago, and at the time I really needed more information about it. I remember seeing you for the first time when you were one of the new wave of vegan YouTubers. So bizarre to think about it. It's interesting though. Was I part of a new wave? I don't know how many, like who was making videos since 2000, like between 2005 and 2008. I'm trying to think, off the top of my head, I have no idea who was making videos that early on, because very few people were using YouTube as a platform before, in the first few years of YouTube. So it'd be interesting to see who has been around even longer than me. I would guess very few people. So it's really fascinating. And, it takes a while to establish yourself and for people to find you. But the cool thing is when you're one of few people on a platform, it's much easier for people to find you, right? So versus today, whereas I've been creating content for so long that when you search for vegan, maybe you'll come across one of my videos, but you may just see somebody who's kind of new and upcoming and all of that stuff on there. And that's interesting too, because, doing something for a very long time online doesn't necessarily mean that you stay relevant for that whole period. And that's tough, actually. I would say there was a good period of time where I felt like I was at the top of the YouTube game in terms of vegans, and things were moving along very fast. And then over the past few years, things have shifted a lot, and it's just very, very different. I think the audience has gotten younger. So, or the fact that I've been around for 10 years, my audience has kind of been aging along with my channel, whereas my content, I don't think appeals to the younger people that are watching on YouTube. And most of the content that seems to be doing really well on YouTube tends to appeal to a much younger audience. And I suppose there might be people that come across my channel just because it's about veganism, but I don't really play to a younger audience. I play to people that are around my age, or just, I don't even really think about a specific age when I'm creating content necessarily. I'm just doing it to share my life with you. So I don't know, there's so much to say here, but I really, I've already been talking for 28 minutes. This is the thing, I love doing live video. I love connecting with you and getting to know each of you, and Ty's and someone that I don't recognize your name. So it's amazing how there are still people that pop up who are really interested in the work that I'm doing. I don't even know you yet. So it's really wonderful to just get to know new people. And Jafar, who seems to be newer here as well, who just asked, why did I become vegan? Well, this is the thing. So I have over 800 videos on my channel. Let's see, I'm trying to think which video is a good one for you to watch. I think there is one actually called Why I Became Vegan. Let me just see real quick. I know I made this. So at one point, I was just trying to cover every major question and topic about my vegan life here. And I've probably talked about that a bunch. And I'm not going to go into it now because it's a longer story. But let me just see where that video is. I feel like I did that in 2011 or 12. That was like a big peak for me in terms of YouTube. That was when I really started to grow. And that's interesting as well. So if you're watching this from the standpoint of someone who's interested in creating your own career, oh, here it is. Yes, so if you look up on my channel, I'm going to pull this up on screen so you can see what it looks like. But if you look it up, oh, I pulled up the wrong link. This is the video. If you just search for why be vegan/vegetarian, it's a short video of me. It's so interesting to look back up at old videos and just all these different things. So this is from August 2011. I used to like write the dates on the screen. Oh my God, it's so weird to look back on the other style of things. This is back when I lived in San Francisco. But if you go to this video, that'll tell you about why I became vegan and all of that. And I think it's wonderful. You said that your goal for 2019 is to become vegan or vegetarian. That's fantastic. I'm so excited for you, and you can do it. There's just endless resources online about this. And that's what's interesting too, is that veganism, I think because my channel for so long was very educational based, it doesn't feel like it's as necessary to be that anymore. And that's part of the reason why I've been really shifting a lot in my head and my just overall business as a content creator in terms of what I want to show. And these days, I think it's a lot more interesting to just show what my life is than it is to make it as educational, which for most of the 10 years, my videos were designed to be more educational and less entertainment based. And I'm not sure if I'll ever go strictly to an entertainment side of things with YouTube, because it's not really my passion or expertise or skills, whatever. But I think that maybe sharing more about my life and just kind of letting people come along with me, like through vlogs, which I've been doing more and more of, is probably going to be more of my focus. Whereas I think sitting down to do live videos, they can be interesting, maybe and entertaining, but I think that I used to do them more from like an educational standpoint, and I'm starting to wonder if I want to continue doing it that way. And that's something that's interesting too. I mean, throughout these past 10 years, I've been evaluating constantly, like what feels like it's working, what feels right for me, what's really serving you as the audience, and just trying to come up with the best way to do things that just feel right and that work well. And that's an ongoing quest. So figuring all of that out, I appreciate you being here for my journey. I could talk about this for so long, but I actually am going to record some modules for this new online course that I have called Wellness Warrior Training. And Jafar, actually, you might want to look into that. It's not so much about how to become vegan, but I'm doing this with my best friend and business partner, Jason Robel, who is also an incredible vegan content creator and chef. He has a book out. He's working on another book right now. He's had a TV show about veganism. He's just a phenomenal resource. And so he's my best friend, and he and I are working on this new course together, which is coming out. We're still figuring out the exact date, but if you've signed up for it, stay tuned. And if you haven't, you still can. And the whole point of it is to help people really reach their goals when it comes to wellness, when it comes to their careers, their mindsets, their just feeling as happy, healthy, fulfilled as possible. And that is something you can still sign up for. So I'll put a link to that in the description field. Actually, I'll pull it up now just in case you're curious. Let me see. Here it is. I think I have to wait till the video's over and to put it in the actual link to it. But this is it. This is what you'll get when you'll come to the page. That's Jason right there on the side. And it's all about improving your overall well-being. And so we really wanted to create something that would help motivate people, eliminate overwhelm, and develop better habits, which is something a lot of people struggle with. And so we're doing this audio-based course where you'll get every week, you'll get a new audio lesson that you can listen to in the car while you're doing chores or at home, and really designed to help you achieve all of those things and feel your best. So we're recording that today, which I'm really excited about, and just under 30 minutes, I'll be working on that. And I'm always working on things like that. And I think that's something I don't talk about quite as much on YouTube, but there's so much that I do beyond this channel. I have other YouTube channels. I have so much types of work that I don't even really talk about much online. I do a lot of social media content. And one of the best ways for you to stay up to date with everything is my newsletter, which is the very first link in the description field. You can sign up for that. It's completely free to sign up. Every week you'll get an email from me summarizing what I've been working on, news, and then various things I want to share with you. So I'll tell you about books that are coming out and events that are happening and news that's happening in the world. So I try to make it as informative for you as possible so you can stay up to date with not just my life, but anything that I think that you'll care about when it comes to eco-veganism. And more comments coming in here. Thank you so much for all the kind words. And Jafar, who's asking some questions about protein and all that. I mean, I have endless amounts of information about this on my channel. If you just go to the YouTube channel, this video, I'm just not answering that right now because that's not what this video is about. But if you go to my YouTube channel where you are right now, and here, I'll show you right here, there's a little search bar. There's a little glass right here. If you click on that and type in protein, for example, I have a ton, right? So a lot of these I've just done a lot of content on protein because it's a very common question. So if you come on here, you can watch these videos and learn all about that, and that'll answer your question. And thank you. Yes, Ty, I'm so grateful for you. You are so sweet and positive. And Orion, yes, you can rewind back to the beginning to learn, to see everything that else I've been talking about. That's the trick with these live videos is that, it really depends on when you tune in, and you might miss entirely what I was talking about. But the plus side is that these videos are always recorded, so you can go back and watch them. I know they're on the long side, but I always encourage people to put them on in the background and listen to them. You don't have to just sit here and stare at my face the whole time. I'm also working on a podcast and doing that with Jason. I'm pointing this way because he always sits here when we're recording. So he'll be sitting right here in about 20 minutes to record the course with me. And we also have been working on our podcast. So that's something that I have been thinking about for a long time. I used to have a podcast like 3 years ago, but that fizzled out. And now I want to put my focus back into it because I'm someone that can just talk for an hour easily. And I don't know if that format works as well on YouTube. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, for watching live, for watching the recording, for being part of my life in any capacity for the past 10 years. I'm so grateful for you. I hope that I can continue to give you lots of value and support you. My number one goal, and always has been, is to support you with your journey. And whether that's to do with veganism, environmentalism, health in general, wellness, wealth is actually another passion of mine. And things like business is something that I've been supporting people with for a long time. There's so much. I just am always looking for ways that I can give more. And I just love hearing from you. I love hearing what you want support with. So you can always comment on these videos. If you have a request for video topics, my assistant Melissa and I actually have been compiling in requests, and that's something I need to tap into more often to make more videos about that. So that's one of my goals for 2019 is to go through and really make more content specifically about your questions. So you can comment, you can private message me here, or I think you can private message me here. I'm still confused about that, but you can definitely private message me on Instagram and Facebook, and I think Twitter as well. And then things are always changing, right? But I also have email, of course, so you can always email me and ask me something. And because of my amazing assistant, Melissa, generally we can get back to you within a few days and do our very best to answer questions and give you whatever you need so that you can thrive and live as happy and healthy as possible. And that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you very soon with the next video. I have a vlog coming out. I think that's coming out on Thursday. Is it the 20th? And I have a giveaway coming up, so another reason to sign up for my newsletter, and a lot of things that are in the works. I just have to finish editing them. So stay tuned, turn on the notifications if you don't want to miss videos. Subscribe I assume that you're subscribed at this point, because I don't think you would just watch a video if you weren't subscribed, but maybe not. So if you're interested in seeing more from me, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you very soon with the next video. Bye.